Hey there, Jim here. In this video, I'm going to show a method to get the company revenue in the most cost-effective way possible. So as you might know, there are already certain providers in Clay that allow us to determine the company revenue, but unfortunately, most of them cost a lot of Clay credits. So if you're running, let's say, for this example, I have 6,000 rows, so that could easily burn up your monthly Clay credits. So I had a workaround here that I'd like to show you, and this is actually inspired by Eric from Growth Engine X's LinkedIn post. So thank you for that, Eric. So basically, we will take Google search results from different data sources like ZoomInfo, Crunchbase, and Owler, and then we will use a very lightweight AI model to analyze those results to get the data that we want, which is the annual revenue. So let's now dive into the actual setup. So as you can see here, I have three columns from these data sources that I mentioned. And for the Google search, I just use Serper.dev API to do that. So if you're not familiar with Serper, you can just check my other video about it. So basically, we'll be using the Google search endpoint for that. And the exact query will be this: site colon zoominfo.com, and then you will insert the company domain and then the keyword revenue. So you will use the exact structure for the other columns, but you'll just replace it like for this crunchbase.com and then for owler.com respectively. So we've already run it, you can see. So let's check the results. So this is the example output out of that. So we will see that in the snippet, this particular company, UCAN, has $9.9 million in average annual revenue. So that's from ZoomInfo, and then for Crunchbase doesn't have any result unfortunately, and for Owler as well. I'll show later in the prompt how we will process this particular input. So let's just check this another row. So the revenue here is $9.8 million. So that's from ZoomInfo, and then from Crunchbase. Yeah, it's less than 10M, so almost close. So no results for Owler.com. So now that we have those Google search results or snippets in particular, so we'll use another LLM to process that. But in this case, I did not use Claygent because I'm using OpenRouter to perform certain AI tasks. So this is my setup that I have done. So I just add a text column here containing the exact prompt that I will use, and I will just populate the actual variables that we need to perform the analysis. So what we need is the company name, of course, and the three results from the Serper.dev column that we had just run. So from ZoomInfo, from Crunchbase, and from Owler. As you can see, I have inserted the data array, which is the actual search results that we gathered. So basically, what we will say in the prompt is just to get the average of the revenue values that we found from each of the snippet from the three different sources. But I've also included here a specific instruction where if there's only one snippet present, so we will just take the value out of that snippet because there's no necessity anymore to get the average out of that. So also the output must be in a form of a number because we will just use some formulas to process that later. So that's it. And let's look at the resulting output. So this is the output column out of that. And as you might know, the revenue is in USD. And I actually use another column there just for me to have sense of it. But the client that we have is based in the UK, so we will still have to convert the values into GBP or British pounds. So I just use a formula to do that, and based on the current conversion rate from USD to GBP. And the last column, what would make sense to us is to classify those company revenue into specific ranges because our ICP is categorized based on the company revenue range. So I already have it here in this column, and I just use this formula to do that as well. So that's it. That's the very simple method that we can use to get the annual revenue, and it would save us tons of Play credits. And yep, I hope that helps, and happy prospecting.